So we're back again. Karen and I are here to deliver your Week 13 matchup preview goodness. Should be a very interesting week. We have one matchup in particular that has a lot of playoff implications, but a lot of these matchups have a lot of GD implications, starting with Steve versus the Commish. So, look, bottom line here, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of analysis because you guys want some analysis on every game. The deal is that Steve has zero chance of winning this game. So I just want to highlight a couple things. I'm actually going to try to help you here, Steve, to make this game more competitive because the way it stands right now, it's not even fair. Russell Wilson should go to the bench this week. He hasn't played a good defense all season. Go back and look at the defenses he's played. He's never played a good defense this entire season. Kirk Cousins has a much easier matchup tonight against the Cowboys. Don't overthink it. Cousins is the play. Number two, Jacquizz Rodgers should be started over Alfred Morris. Alfred Morris is terrible, and he's in a timeshare. When Jacquizz is when Doug Martin's out, Jacquizz is the guy. He's going to get 20-plus carries and against a terrible Green Bay defense. More about that later, by the way. A little hint for you guys. But you used your second to last move to pick up Jacquizz Rodgers, and now you're not even going to play him? That is just over the top stupid. Look, I know Yahoo projects Alfred Morris at higher points, but they're wrong, moron. So get him out of there and put in Jacquizz Rodgers. My bold prediction for this matchup is that Michael Thomas will fail to reach the 10-point plateau again because he never does. And that's what's going to happen. I guess it's not that bold. But for my side, Brady to Gronk can't be stopped. Fournette's going to bounce back against Indy. So, of course, I project Steve to bend the knee this week and lose to the Commish. So, Crabtree versus Brooklyn Brawler. Reese is all but guaranteed a playoff spot, but Jared is fighting to not be the GD for the third year in a row. That's right, 3 in a row, and you can call it technicalities or whatever you want to call it, Jared. This would be your third year in a row as GD. Carson Wentz at Seattle isn't as tough as usual because of injuries in Seattle. Tevin Coleman, however, is absolutely useless against the Vikings. But unfortunately for Reese, he doesn't have anybody else that he can play. So you're stuck playing him and hoping he breaks a big run. Spoiler alert, he won't. So Kyle Rudolph also in a nightmare of a matchup with Atlanta. Just nightmare. My bold prediction here is that Rudolph and Coleman combine for less than 10 total points. Less than 10 total. Think about that for a second between a running back and a tight end. Tough matchup for Julio versus Xavier Rhodes and that tough Vikings defense I just alluded to. Vernon Davis, however, is in a great matchup against Dallas. And I think that I'm going to have to call this the upset of the week. Brooklyn Brawler knocks off Reese this week. Jared gets the dub over Reese. And then, interestingly enough, Steve, you might want to pay close attention to this matchup because if Jared knocks off Reese, then that means with Jared playing Mancusi next week, he kind of holds the fate of the GD in his hands. I mean, what if he threw the game and you finished in dead last? Just a thought. Now, on to Pack Attack versus Cheesehead. My brother Tony is overprojected, plain and simple. I mean, I know he's only projected at like 91 points, but it's an overprojection, straight simple. Dez, Jimmy Graham, Latavius Murray, and Matt Prater will all miss their projected points. That's my bold prediction for Tony. Green Bay defense is a horrible play. Absolute homer move. They haven't scored 10 in a game since week 5, and the only reason that was is because they played against your crappy quarterback, Dak Prescott, who's awful. And I'd just like to take a second to remind all of you that Russell Wilson for Dez Bryant was the worst trade in the league this season, and just completely unfathomably stupid why somebody would make that trade. So, and to boot, Jameis Winston's returning. against the Packers. So, I mean, the Packers defense, it's a trap. Don't do it. Robbie Anderson, it's time to acknowledge that he's a stud. That guy is an every week set it and forget it stud. And it looks like that Pack Attack may be riding Greg Zuerlein to the playoffs. The collusion trade that happened with Steve that was supposed to benefit Steve really hurt Steve and benefited Pack Attack. So Pack Attack is the projected winner here. Without a doubt, Pack Attack winning this game and kind of locking up a playoff spot. So on to John versus OJ's revenge. So John versus Snooki. Snooki Mancusi. Listen, dude. Cooper isn't playing this week. You need to fix your lineup, and you need to start looking at better options before Sunday. You have no feasible options on your bench. You got to play somebody else. Find somebody in free agency, pick him up, play him. Amari Cooper is not going to play. Devontae Freeman returns to a terrible matchup versus Minnesota, but of course, that doesn't matter to you because Devontae Freeman is the best running back in fantasy, as we all well know, right? So Jason Witten hasn't done anything since week 7, and I would avoid the entire Cowboys offense. The entire Cowboys offense is in shambles since Zeke got suspended. On to John's team. In case of emergency, break glass. Case Keenum could be benched with any interception. They're dying for a reason to put Teddy Bridgewater in there. It's a trap. Don't trust him. Kareem Hunt is borderline benchable at this point. Unfortunately for you, so is Adrian Peterson, and you were so proud of yourself picking up Adrian Peterson that you just kept texting AP all the time, and the guy sucks. As you know, we explained when you picked him up, but congratulations on that move, moron. Antonio Brown and Keenan Allen will dominate, however, as well as Jordan Howard. Those three, my bold prediction here, 70% or more of John's points comes from just those three players. And with that, the projected winner is John, of course. John's going to win this matchup. Not much else to be said about it. Mancusi, get it together, dude. Try and make it competitive, at least for me. So on to our final matchup, the showcase game of the week. Prime time. We've got Girlies Gone Wild versus Pocahontas in 2020. So big matchup, huge fantasy implications. You guys are under the bright lights. Alex Smith is just a game manager, Joe. It's time to realize that and time to find other options. I don't understand how you're carrying two kickers and your only quarterback option is Alex Smith. I mean, I remember my first year in fantasy. Come on, you noob, get it together. Get rid of one of the kickers, preferably the one that plays for the crappy Kansas City offense right now, and go get yourself a quarterback. I don't understand what you're doing. You're being a rube. So I still don't trust Alex Collins. I know he's been doing well. I just don't trust him. He doesn't look good to me. Just doesn't look very good. I think Jamison Crowder goes beast mode this week, though, against Dallas. My bold prediction here is that Jamison Crowder is going to outscore D-Hop for Jason this week. Jamison Crowder, huge week ahead. Now we've got our situation here on Jason's side. Cam Newton should be in for a shootout with the Saints. If he uses Christian McCaffrey and Devin Funchess the way he should, then he should put up a good week. Trusting Joe Mixon after one good game, and he's playing a tough Pittsburgh defense. That's bold, and it's stupid. So I don't know if you have any better options or not, but, I mean, if you have anybody that's going to get over 5 points, it's a better option. So, bonus bold prediction. Travis Kelce and Hunter Henry are going to outscore Joe Mixon and Alex Collins this week. The combined score of Kelce and Henry equals more than Mixon and Collins combined score. Winner in this one, I'm sorry, I can't pick the team that's starting Alex Smith at quarterback. I'm going to go Pocahontas in 2020. So, and that's not to say that I'm voting for Elizabeth Warren in 2020. That's just to say I'm picking Jason to win this matchup. So there you have it, folks. There is your Week 13 previews, and I will see you Tuesday with the recap where I tell you all about how I kicked the holy ever-living crap out of Steve this week. See you guys later.